I thought I would make these stories. Live from Fled Lab in Austin, Texas, this is Stacker.News Live! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker.News Live. My name's Carl. I'm the BFF Keyan. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Thanks for getting us a Bud Light.
Yeah, I wanted a Heineken, but they only had, for some reason I'm craving these like older beers. But they only Heineken they had 0% alcohol in it.
Okay.
Sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah. How was your week?
It was good. Yeah, Grey Ruby stopped by today, which is pretty amazing.
What'd you think about it?
It was good. I always have to when I'm in a novel social situation, I always have to meditate. I force myself to meditate before, so I'm not
Really? What do you mean meditate? Let's dive into that for a second. What do you mean meditate?
Well, I'll do like a transcendental meditation before.
Are you joking? Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh wow! Just because you're going to meet somebody, or?
Yeah, mostly because I want to be able to compartmentalize well, and it's novel, and most of the time in a novel social situation, I'll get super anxious. So I mostly want to stop that from happening.
Were you nervous when you?
No, I wasn't nervous. I wasn't even nervous thinking about it, but I know that sometimes in those situations, what'll happen is every traumatic social experience that has ever happened to me in my life will come flooding back while I'm meeting someone, which is terrible. It's just terrible brain design. And
really?
So if I meditate, I can compartmentalize all of that trash and focus on more so on the moment. It just gives you a little more control over your attention. And so that's why I do that. But that was awesome meeting Grey Ruby. You took him around in a robo-taxi, which you have not done for me. But apparently for Grey Ruby, it's worth it.
Well, I mean, I feel like I know Grey Ruby because I listened to a sports pod, and it just feels a little bit different. I guess when you listen to people in your earbuds, they just feel a little bit more like you already know them. If Undisciplined came, I'd do the same for him.
If anyone wants to know what Grey Ruby looks like, he looks like the guy who runs Barstool Sports. What's his name of that guy?
No, he doesn't.
He totally does. Dave Portnoy. He totally looks like Dave Portnoy, but not from New York.
Yeah, he's really nice. He was a really nice guy. I really enjoyed.
Yeah. Excellent.
Enjoyed hanging out with him. Yeah, we're running around downtown right now. That was awesome.
I gave him 5 hats.
Oh, cool.
We gave him his cowboy hat, which he earned for his.
Oh, that's right. He picked up the cowboy hat.
That was a big part of it.
Oh, wow.
A yellow trucker, a black trucker, a corduroy embroidered hat.
Wow, he made out like a
beanie.
Yeah. I took him to the Open Agents headquarters too. So he met Ovi, and he was asking him about AI stuff. Oh, yeah, it was a good it was a good time. It was really fast. It's I just came in.
Yeah, it was maybe an hour.
Yeah, it was really quick. But yeah, let's see if any other stackers want to come visit. Definitely get in touch with Scoresby. It looks like Scoresby's the guy. He's handling
He's got the hookup. He's handling the hats.
He's handling coordination. So reach out to Scoresby if you want to come visit. What was I gonna say? Yeah, if you've never seen this crazy show before, it's called Stacker.News Live. We do it every week here on wherever you're watching it. We're doing this thing now where we're doing vertical video. Let's see if it loads this one. Yeah, so we're doing vertical video now. So you'll start seeing more shorts in your YouTube, and we'll eventually get that over to Noster and stuff like that. But yeah, we just think it's where all the kids are doing these days. Did you know that, Coob? All the kids are watching vertical video.
Yeah, of course I know.
We're gonna have vertical theaters. It's gonna be a whole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing that. So definitely check that out. And yeah, there's some videos here that Wumble does. So check those out. But I think the most popular thing last week was one of the shorts that we did. Apparently it was this short. Oh, wow. Yeah, so we covered the Peter Todd thing. This short got 400 views, which is wild. But
Well,
we were like doing actually like live coverage, right? It felt like from what Peter Todd, like, do you remember that story? I don't remember. It was like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember that story because Peter Todd, he went and delivered a vehicle in Ukraine. I think what mostly attracted people's eye to it is probably the fire. We have a video of a fire. I think this is after, like, so there were some drone strikes in Russia or something, and Peter Todd was like, "Yeah, we're fighting back."
I think that kind of also shows that people who are living in a Bitcoin world already, they're already doing stuff on the ground, and Stacker.News is the place where they're covering it, or at least sharing it. So I think this was like a really good short because it kind of showed what Stacker.News is actually capable of on the ground when it's just all around Bitcoin, which is pretty interesting. And I think it'll, yeah, I thought I was really shocked. I was really shocked how this actually got a lot of views. But
yeah, that was cool. I mean, I guess people like those shorts. But I mean, you were telling me that you watched the short videos.
Dude, it's weird.
I'm concerned about it.
Not
for you, but like,
I'm kind of concerned too. But it's I think it's like for the people that I watch a whole show, like because other shows that I watch, but I'll have to be like almost in a good, not a good state, but it has to fall in the right circumstances where it's like, oh, I have time for this and I can only choose what I can watch, and then I'll watch something that makes me genuinely happy. So those are kind of the shows that I watch. But like stuff that's real quick, if you want to check,
just worried about attention spans and like not being able to like.
Yeah, I can see that.
That would be that's my concern with most short form in general.
Yeah,
it's like you find yourself, like sometimes I find myself scrolling on X, and I'm like in a hypnotic state, and I don't realize that I'm watching someone like doing tricks with a turtle, or I don't know, like the kind of random stuff, or like making a sandwich with hands tied behind their back or whatever the videos come up. And
yeah, I mean, it is definitely like a thing, especially on Twitter. I feel like Instagram's another one like that's kind of like that. But I mean, if it's kind of one of I feel like it's just all moving vertical anyway, and if you're not participating in that vertical video thing, I feel like you're kind of getting left behind in a lot of ways. And I feel like Twitter has its own sort of people, just like Blue Sky or Noster. So I don't know. This just feels right.
Yeah, but it feels right. You mean like it feels like the right format for things now?
Yeah,
short form video.
Yeah, it reminds me of like blog posting in the early days where we're like, oh, people are going to stop reading ebooks or whatever. It's like, no, they're still going to read books. Just, there will be, I don't know. Feels kind of like that, like blog posts.
But you can kind of think of it like as a way for us to deal with how much information there is. It's like we require like a very condensed short form of it.
Yeah, it's just concentrate, right?
Like, yeah, as concentrated as possible so we can still consume a large swath of it, like some percentage of it. When there wasn't that much content on the internet, we could afford to maybe read more. I don't necessarily think that's true.
And then everybody has like 5 jobs these days. So you're just asking too much of people to have them sit down for 60 minutes to listen to you talk about stuff. Only hardcore people are going to do that. Like your hardcore fans are going to do that. I mean, right now we have like 4 hardcore fans watching. One of them is my sister.
They're all my mom. She just can't figure out a computer.
It's kind of one of those things. Like they don't mind us here rambling about nonsense. Yeah, but they want to hear the news on Stacker.News this week, then they'll check out after that. But anyway, let's jump into that. So this week we have a lot of stuff to cover. Didn't really get a chance to prepare. But with all that, we'll get it going. The number 3 top story this week is my attempt at orange pilling the devs at NewPipe. This is from NPub something. May 12th, Bitcoin territory, education territory, 25 comments, 4,239 cents. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, so I guess this stacker, what is her name? NPub1 ZapSats. They are a user of NewPipe, and NewPipe is like a front end for YouTube. It's like an alternative front end for YouTube, except they remove like the ads and don't do any tracking and stuff. So it has privacy. It's primarily an Android app. I think they also wrap PeerTube, which is like a Mastodon federated like YouTube alternative. They also do that with Bandcamp and SoundCloud. It's all in this app. They're an alternative front end that is like more privacy preserving. They wanted to support them, but they only wanted to support them with Bitcoin. So they were trying to figure out how to support them with Bitcoin. And failed to do so, but learned quite a few things on the way about their the reasons why they don't support Bitcoin. They had to get into their matrix chat. They were in the matrix chat, and they found some people who were trying to get them to accept Monero donations, and they had opinions about that, and they were kind of dismayed. And so they left the matrix chat, but then they went and searched around, and they found some old Reddit posts where they had, I think they had at one point addressed people who were requesting crypto donations from them, and they said that it's not worth it. It's too much administration costs. It doesn't make sense, having to manage all of these currencies and then swapping in and out of them to pay for whatever that they have to pay for with those funds. So they said it's not worth it.
Do you buy that or no?
I do buy that. I think I can imagine, especially if you're not ideologically interested in something like Bitcoin, that only being a headache. And
not be I feel like these days it's never been easier to swap from.
This was years ago. So
okay.
Before.
Well, I just saw 3 months ago, so I was curious.
Oh, I see that one that he linked to. I think that is their more recent stance, but they then found a post from a blog post that they wrote at New Pipe from 2019, and they had actually they had downloaded a malware. They had downloaded a fake version of Electrum, and I think they had 12 million sats in 2019 that had been donated to them, and they went to spend from it, and that malware version of the Electrum wallet basically left them with 0 sats. So they had this experience that was pretty negative, where they basically got robbed or scammed. And that's I guess what has mostly led to them no longer accepting Bitcoin donations. But then I think there are legitimate reasons to
look at the comment.
Not
he's hey, I tried sending it. Sends off. He goes, there is no version 4.0. Looks like you download malware. Sorry for your loss. Such a Bitcoiner response. Yeah. He said the links don't work. Can you please double check them? Yeah. You hate to see it. This was in 2019.
Yeah. Check your signatures.
Yeah. Oh, so he didn't even check. Oh, well, so he actually shares the thing here. Look. Oh, look, it even says an error here. That's wild. And you would still hit OK?
Oh, he had it was before he downloaded 4.0. He had downloaded another malware version.
Wow.
Something like that.
So he just had a bad, and he's using Windows. He just had a bad experience from it looks like.
Yeah. And this is the user experience. This
is the developer from New Pipe.
Face of Bitcoin. I think this is on New Pipe's GitHub.
Oh wow. Anyways.
Yeah. So they went through the whole journey of figuring out why New Pipe was no longer accepting Bitcoin and why they couldn't give them Bitcoin. And
the top comment from Optimism, he said he quoted, when you guys Orange Peel coffee shop, do you go down the SOV route or the receive Bitcoin and spend it MOE route? He says denomination issues between assets and liabilities are always an issue. I personally try to focus on businesses that can grow in a sats in and sats out way, or at least get a significant portion of their liabilities denominated in sats. So yes, move medium exchange, but since this is a German org, they would have more use for it as a endowment type of store value solution than a medium exchange.
Yeah.
This looks like Optimism.
Sounds like Optimism went down a rabbit hole on.
I mean, that's a good way. I mean, we always talk about it here in the lab about there's medium exchange people, then there's store value people. I feel like you're always going to have those two different camps. And probably more so in the medium exchange camp as stuff gets darker out there. Or maybe both. Who knows? I don't know. Be interesting. Anything else you think from here?
No. I just thought that was one related thing is Thomas Massey is raising for his primary in the House of Representatives, and he's accepting Bitcoin. And I discovered that last night. I was watching. I'm kind of a fan of Thomas Massey as far as politicians go, and I was watching an interview with him on Tucker, and he's talking about his primary and how there are these like super PACs, like these like casino magnates in China funding candidates against him. And and then he has this he's trying to raise money not from a super PAC through his website, but he accepts Bitcoin. He accepts fiat, obviously, and Bitcoin. And I just thought that was kind of cool. So there are people, perhaps people you'd least expect, accepting Bitcoin donations. Sad that these open source developers aren't.
Yeah.
But
the number 2 top story this week is the rise of bull poopery. This is 27 comments from Coop. 3,883 sats. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, I just thought this was a fun blog post that it felt like someone's catharsis. Like whoever was writing this was just letting it out. They were like disgruntled against kind of the state of affairs in terms of what is grabbing people's attention right now. And I don't know, I found that soothing, and so I wanted to share it. But it's a lot about how
center div, folks. Center div. Look at this. This is
I don't know why you're. Oh, this is a problem on your just on the restream because you're seeing it.
Yeah, but it's weird how everybody's like doing just far left text and stuff. It's just so strange.
But his website works without JavaScript. He's like big on.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what it is.
Anyway,
we'll go to the Stacker.News post.
Yeah, so he's just mostly upset at how hype culture seems to have kind of won out over like work culture, and so people who are mostly claiming to know things and claiming to do things are garnering more attention online than the people who are doing work, and he calls that bullshit, and he's upset about it. And he has a bunch of thoughts that he shares on it, and how he thinks it's accelerating, how the algorithms are making it worse, how AI is making it worse. And I do sense that it's true, and I do get a strong sense that it's true. But
oh, there it goes.
I'm not sure it's not worth fighting. It's definitely worth being aware of. But I think there are things you can take from this reality, which I do think is true, and still do work. You just have to spend a lot of time creating hype around actual work, and not let people who aren't doing work create a bunch of hype. And that's probably like the actual solution to this. But it does suck. It does. There was we all sense that there was a point in time where you would just do work and people would be excited for you, and kind of. That would be what's promoted. But in a world where everything is getting compressed, there's no, like, the work isn't really, as we just discussed in earlier, so the work isn't really important to the compression part. It kind of gets lost, and all you see is like the headline. This company raised this and this much. This company claims that they did XYZ, and it's, maybe they haven't, but you don't really look into it because you're watching a 15-second clip about it. And you just, oh, that's true, and you move on. Anyway, so I just thought it was interesting, and as someone who's had a similar feeling, it was interesting to watch someone like get this cathartic release. And I think there are things to do about it. You just need to create a lot of noise. I think you need to match the people who are making stuff up and pretending that they're doing things and like lying to people. You need to match their noise making if you actually are doing things. And that's probably always been true.
So what is that? What he says down here? He says, "What can we do?"
Yeah, he's just mostly saying what I've been saying. If you're making stuff and you're doing it the hard way, put the effort in to make sure that people know about it. And if you're consuming those things, make sure that you're rewarding the right people, and you are you are trying to get people who are doing the work more attention, helping them either financially or some other way. Yeah, but it looks like people, people raising money on vaporware, people posting about like fake credibility on, LinkedIn or whatever. Like, oh, here's my expert take on something they don't understand. It's just stuff like that kind of culture feels like it really has ramped up recently.
I think it's always been this way, to be honest. I mean, I've always seen this. Maybe it's just a little bit more like everybody's clued in on who's doing it or what it kind of perceives to be. But I feel like it's always been this way. It's just that now more and more people are doing it or maybe there's just more eyes watching. Maybe that's where my mind goes to. So yeah. I was actually gonna. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I would just. It does seem like there are more people involved in this process of creating BS, and they argue that it's just part of the culture. It's like they've converted people who used to do work into people who do BS now because we've created a culture where there's no reason to do the actual work. Because the algorithm isn't rewarding you for doing the actual work, and people aren't promoting you for doing it. They're mostly promoting people who are just saying they're doing work. And so that creates an environment where people who would have done work are just going to make claims about the work that they do.
I definitely think I was going to say, so I was working on a post. I'm working on a post right now. I don't know where I'm going to release it. Maybe Stacker.News, maybe my blog, maybe Substack, because I'm trying to figure out like where it would probably get the most comments on. Maybe Stacker.News. So I have this theory, if you want to hear about it. It's kind of conspiratorial a little bit, but Stackers love this stuff. So my theory is we've reached a point and I need to flesh this out, but maybe this will help me get it fleshed out a little bit. So my theory is now we're at a point now where this kind of stuff that you're talking about, where people are using, podcasts or using like social media to get attention, all this stuff. I feel like that is, what's passe mean again? Like it's passe.
It's like kind of dated, old, I think.
Yeah. So my fundamental like thing I've been thinking about lately is like, I feel like a lot of that's passe now. Meaning that's the bare minimum. And so your mind goes to, at least my mind went to, okay, well, if that's passe, then what's actually the next thing? And this is going to sound crazy to say. So this is more car, just like thinking internally, what's the next thing, right? I think the next thing is the world stage. And I think what we're moving towards is like kind of how governments think through media and governments around the world, not just the United States, around the world, how they're thinking through media. And how they get media out there, and to be honest, a lot of what you see out there is the world stage becomes all governments' media arm, and I think that's where you're going to start seeing more startups, more people that Keyan's talking about here are going to start using the world stage for its media arm, because it's one thing to write about stuff and to try to get it into press. It's another thing to coordinate something that gets the world's attention and then everybody just writes about it anyway. And I think that's where we're kind of moving to. And that's the scary part. But the more and more I think about it, the more and more I think that you're going to see more and more people use the world stage as a media arm. And I think that's kind of where we're headed. Because if I'm thinking about this already, then I'm sure there's other people that are thinking about this.
What does it mean to use the world stage as a media arm?
That's where I need to really.
How do you access the world stage?
That's where I really need to write this out. But if you start thinking through it a little bit, it could either go really good or really bad. So I think one thing that we did at Pleb Lab early on, we didn't use the world stage. We used Austin stage to blow up Pleb Lab. We did the Bitcoin block party. We did like things that were like a real event that you weren't tuning in or you weren't writing about it or you weren't talking about it. Then it turns out you didn't like. That's what I mean by world stage, but on a higher level. And I feel like governments over time have done this already. They've done this multiple times. Most of the time it's done through weird stuff, but I think we're going to start seeing more and more startups, more and more people, more and more companies, more and more individuals start using the world stage as its media arm.
You mean it's like part of their communication strategy? They're like addressing the world or dealing with the world as a whole, kind of like the way Pleb Lab dealt with Austin. And it's like, we're doing this thing for Austin, and the world stage might be like, we're doing this thing for the world.
WorldCoin is doing a really good job about this. Like they're using that sort of like dark arts of media to do it, and I suspect we're going to see more of that happening. Because if I'm thinking through it already, that's kind of weird, right? But my mind's going to go there regardless, just because I'm thinking about this stuff heavily, and I wanted to get it out there because I feel like you'll start seeing more and more things happen in the world, and you're not going to be able. It's not so much trusting it. It's more about like what's the slight underneath that everybody's trying to do. And you kind of see that already. And some of it's just like invisible hand stuff, but some of it's actually well, seasoned people in the marketing space, like really thinking through this stuff on different layers. Anyway, that's something I want to bring up, but this is kind of where my mind goes when I think about this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What are you writing down?
I wasn't writing anything down. I was turning on the banner for the podcast.
Oh, okay.
I've forgotten to do.
Yeah, I'm going to write about this because I need to flush it out more. But this is kind of the thing I've been thinking about the past few weeks, and like thinking through like that sort of thing. It's kind of crazy to think about because your mind can go in dark places. But like, how could you do that for good? You know?
Yeah. No, I think that is a good. I like to think about it that way. It's like, all right, how do I fight these MFers?
It's not about fighting.
Yeah. How do I defend myself?
It's not about defending them.
How do I exist? What
not even about existing.
What would you accept as a premise for what? It's
more about like how do you
succeed?
How do you galvanize?
Right. What is that? I'm trying to think of simpler words. I think it's mostly how would you succeed in an environment where people are kind of taking advantage of?
Trying to think if I've seen it done lately. I think Kanye does the world stage really well. He definitely takes it to dark places. Who else has done it?
Well is an interesting way to put.
Well, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether it was good or bad. It's just that everybody heard about it.
That's part of the world. That's part of taking the world stage. Talking about world events.
Because you're gonna have people on both sides, yay or nay. And the same thing with you. I guess you're kind of seeing that right now with the whole Christopher Nolan thing, where everybody's making fun of Christopher Nolan because he's having these people play inside of his movie, but that's using the world stage as a media arm, or at least it's trying to get there. They're going to do like a 60 minutes piece this week, so it's clearly working. Yeah, it's the kind of stuff I think about. Anyways, but this is kind of what it reminded me of. It's like I think the only way you kind of combat that is like doing the same thing, but just for good.
Yeah, no, for sure. Combat. I think, you have to
come back at it.
Come back. I thought you said combat.
Come back. Cool. The number one top story this week is walked around a shopping area, talked to Square merchants and paid in Bitcoin. This is from 0285, May 14th, 5630 sats, 28 comments. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, so this stacker went and looked for a Square merchant that would accept the best money in the world, Bitcoin, and they
looks like they accepted Zeus, right?
Well, they themselves were using Zeus, I think,
okay.
And that's why they forwarded 50% of the sats on this to Evan. But they went wherever they were. They didn't say where they were. They were walking around a shopping area and looking for people with a Square sticker or terminal. And as many, until they found someone who accepted Bitcoin, they asked if they would accept Bitcoin and told them that they would buy something. And it was fourth time the charm. They found someone with a Square terminal who would accept Bitcoin, and it was pretty simple. I think it was a coffee shop is what they ended up saying. Anyway, I think mostly what they're saying is this kind of thing gets them very excited. You and I were talking about this before, but I think for people who aren't in a Bitcoin hub, who haven't been able to interact with people with Bitcoin in person before, something like the Square terminal experience might be the closest thing. And so they got this experience and it jazzed them up and they felt pretty excited about it. And unlike most people in Bitcoin, they're pretty excited about how they feel like Lightning's UX has improved over the last few years. And protocols and decentralized protocols are very slow. But I would agree it has improved, but they got pretty excited about that. Yeah. And then I think the other part that I kind of liked hearing again was that they were excited about everyday people using good money and just having the experience of using money that isn't losing its value, that actually like benefits you and feels like it's yours. And it sounded like they were really they were like living the experience of like thinking through that fantasy, which I had I maybe had lost touch with a little bit. But that is really exciting to think about an economy where the money works and people aren't terrified of like what to do with their money or how they're going to make their next batch of money. And the money just is like actually storing their wealth well. And so they had this, they shared some of their like feelings around that. And I thought that was pretty cool. So they're generally excited and a bullish Bitcoiner. And it's nice to read those kinds of things.
That's interesting. So he was just using Zeus and then,
yeah, he used Zeus to pay a Square merchant.
Okay, cool.
And that was kind of irrelevant for them that it was even Bitcoin. He's like, they aren't even impressed by this. He's like, I'm super impressed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think the most impressed I've ever seen somebody was when we did Lightning Door. That was the most impressed I've ever seen somebody.
It is a weird application of Lightning to do that, but no one's really doing that anymore.
No one cares.
I remember when we installed it at the 6th Street location, you're like, this is it. This is the next. I
believe that.
I know.
I still believe that. I just don't think that somebody give me money, I'll go make that happen. It's just that's what I think is holding us back. It's just like no one's poured money into that Lightning infrastructure.
Yeah, you can kind of imagine that.
Oh, dude, it would totally be that.
Yeah, we're just micro paying everything.
You just need capital to do things these days.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I have like
we'll get around to it eventually, and then once we start doing it, I feel like other people will also see it and want to start doing it too. Just takes one person.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it got retweeted by that guy. What's his name? Powell or Lowry.
Oh,
that's when it got really blew up.
Space Cadet Lowry.
That was the only time I've ever seen somebody like freak out over Lightning in person. Square could build something like that. They could totally do something like that. Even Blockstream could do something like that. They just wouldn't do it because they don't know if it's going to make any money or not.
It is too early.
I don't think it is. Like back then, we were using like Ellen bits. Now you could probably just use Cashew Mint or something.
Well, it's not that the tech is like bad. It's just that people who are willing to go through that flow are like too rare. But you could imagine like having Pleb Lab only operate on micropayments. I have the water dispenser, I scan a QR. To open the door, I scan a QR. That would be interesting.
I mean, maybe we'll do it. It just it takes a couple thousand. Then you got to pay the guys to do it. They're not going to do anything for free. I mean, probably I could even do it these days because it's all just vibe coded. You could probably just vibe code it.
Well, there you go.
Interesting. Yeah, that's cool stuff, man. I always love seeing this sort of thing whenever stackers talk about like their experience, whether they're using Square, Cash App, or what's the other one? Spark, or what are the other ones? Strike,
River.
It's always cool to see. It's
Coinbase.
You just love seeing it. Yeah, even Coinbase. I like seeing people do it because when they go through Coinbase, they get their hands get burned, and then they move over to like these Bitcoin only ones. So it's usually how it goes. Really cool stuff. That's all the top stories that we have this week, Stackers. We're going to jump into Keyan's favorite segment. Keyan, you know what your favorite segment is?
No, I'm not.
It's called Womble's Picks. That's what it's called.
Wow.
Womble's Picks, the wonderful world of Wumble, the wonderful world of Wumble, the wonderful world of Womble's Picks. Every week, Wumble drops a pick for us in our mailbox, and he says, you know what, Car? You know what, Coob? I want you talking about this today. And we say, you know what, Wumble? You're right. We will talk about that. This is Womble's Picks. This week, he wants us talking about the U.S. will start revoking passports for thousands of parents who owe child support. Oh, gosh. This is in the politics and law territory. Scoresby posted this. 49 comments, 1,797 stats. Keyan, what is this story?
Yeah, so I don't know who actually said this from the government, but the government recently said that they were going to start revoking passports of We can assume probably deadbeat dads. I don't think there are probably a bunch of deadbeat moms out there. But like dads who aren't paying their child support that they are legally obligated to pay, they're going to revoke their passports. So they're going to be unable to travel in many cases. And I think they're starting out with around 3,000 American passport holders who owe more than $100,000 in child support back pay.
So there's 2,700 Americans who have a passport. You would think there'd be more. Interesting. They owe but over 100K.
They owe over 100K in like child support back pay. Like they got a baby mama that they aren't sending checks to, that the court told them to.
Oh wow!
But they're still what's weird is like they're still traveling. Like
it's because they're not paying child support.
Yeah, I guess so. They can afford to travel. They're just knocking bees up. And,
dang, man.
Yeah.
How many baby mamas do you have out there, Coob?
I mean, I think it's safe to say 0. Pretty much safe. I was always super paranoid about having kids too early.
Really?
Yeah, I would be. Yeah. I wouldn't. I was like, I would. I
don't think I have any kids out there. Yeah, I don't think there could be one out there, but I feel like that lady would have like already reached out to me early on. There was like this. I don't know how much I share. Can you hand me a beer? This is car oversharing probably, but
great.
It's all good. There was this girl I knew, and we had you said just twist off? Yeah. She had a baby right around the same time, and nothing ever happened to it. So I was like, okay, well, I guess it's not mine, right?
Or she thought it should be better without you.
Woo, doggy! Dang,
that'd be tough. But I'm sure that's not the case. But
nah, I'm sure she would have said something. I don't think it was mine.
Yeah, I was always super paranoid about that. Just having a kid when I didn't.
Yeah,
I should have just done it. I should have just knocked some people up earlier. Because apparently, I mean, in worst case, in the year 2026, what would happen? I would have lost my passport.
Well, worst case scenario, you lose your passport. You don't even leave your office, so it's just like, I mean, look who's laughing now.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need a passport unless it's crossing this lobby to go to Chipotle. I don't need a
passport to pay to get Chipotle. So the question that Wumble had, let me see if I can find it here. Let me go back here. So the question that he had was, should governments revoke permission slips, passports, driver's license for unpaid debts? Should any amount of debt, no matter how small, qualify? Ooh, dang, Keyan, what do you think about that?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't really thought a whole lot about the way debt should get collected. But I think anytime when a government steps in and begins meddling in debt markets, it creates weird situations. I don't like if you think about like the student loan situation, where what you end up having is the government says that you can never bankrupt on student loans. You have them for the rest of your life, and I think even possibly your offspring can inherit them. That means that if I'm a person who is giving out money to students for loans, I'm going to be way more likely to think about them. It mostly just creates distortions. I'm not sure this is a good idea. I would guess that most men or women who aren't paying child support don't have passports, and so I'm not sure what this stops. I guess this stops people who maybe have the financial means to pay. So maybe that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know because I don't really pay attention to this stuff. Wumble, this is like a bad question to ask Car. I would say no, just right off, shooting from the hip, because I feel like you're gonna have some unrest of a sorts, maybe, because like you're stopping people from potentially working. I don't know. I feel like if you do this, then this does one thing, but then we won't know the adverse effects of it till like 10 years later, kind of like with the e-cigs and stuff, or like the chewing thing that people do now. The
Zen?
Yeah, the Zen or whatever.
Hell yeah.
I feel like we won't know the adverse effects of that until like
sudden death.
Until like a decade later or something, I think. I don't know. That's where my mind goes, but I don't know. Who's this guy?
That is Pete Rubio. It
Oh,
might
cool.
be his body double.
He looks like he's looking at
Secretary of
us.
State.
Hey, Pete, nice to see
Yeah,
you.
depending on where you are.
Nice to see you, Pete.
His eyes kind of following that picture.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really. I don't pay child support, so there's that. So I don't know how I would feel. Maybe I'd feel different if I did. Maybe.
I had like childhood friends whose parents did not, or his father did not pay child support, and they were kind of upset about it because it made their
were they really?
Yeah, it made their mom's life like quite a lot harder.
I feel like also too, like if I found a girl, I feel like she wouldn't want me to pay child support. She would just be like, oh, just pay me, whatever you can. I'm like, oh, cool. I feel like I would find a woman like that that's more like caring.
Yeah, a woman in a barrio somewhere. What is that?
I'm saying like if I feel like if I did get a woman pregnant and it did lead to child support of a sort, I feel like she would be like,
she's based enough where she just lets you off.
Yeah, I think she'd be based enough to where she would just let me off. Mm-hmm.
But
that's how I feel about it, though.
Fortunate, yeah.
I know. I mean, what would you do? Would you pay the child support, or would you?
Yeah,
just let your passport go?
It's the least I could do. I mean, I would hope to instead like raise the child, but if I can't do that,
just let your passport go. I'm definitely.
Cheap,
definitely. I mean, 2,500 is not. I mean, that's some rent right there.
You get like
bro.
a little clone with a little variation mixed with someone you found attractive. That's basically what a child is. You pay $1,000 a month for the rest of your life. It's a pretty good payment plan. Like,
yeah, I mean,
for a clone,
I don't know. Bro. For a clone. Anyways, that was Wumble's picks. Tune in next week for more Wumble, the wonderful world of Wumble's picks. Yeah, that was a tough one. Not gonna lie, that was pretty tough, Wumble. Feel like you're coming with the heat.
Yeah, touched a lot of sensitive areas.
A lot of sensitive areas here. Yeah, dang. Oh no, wait. He said driver's licenses too. Wait, we didn't even answer that.
Yeah, I think that was like some escalation.
Oh yeah, we did answer it. Yeah. So yeah, I think you're shaking the tree there. I don't know if that's a good idea, but we'll see. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Let's jump into your post. You had a Parker Lewis post apparently. What's this, Keyan?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Parker, as you know. And he's been posting these steak inflation photos. I think since 2021, he's been taking photos of the Whole Foods dry aged ribeye, boneless ribeye per pound prices at Whole Foods.
I just had dry aged at the beefsteak, dude.
Wow,
so good, dude. I'd never had dry aged before.
You've been to a beefsteak before?
Oh, did they have? I don't think they've had.
I would assume they always use dry aged.
I don't believe I have been a beefsteak, but I've never seen dry aged on the menu. But it was so good, dude. I was shocked how good dry aged was.
Yeah, most steakhouses you can get a dry aged steak.
Well, now I am.
It's a little more expensive.
I totally am, though.
Usually 50% more expensive.
So $21.99 a pound. How much is that for a steak then? Like 42?
That's roughly probably. I would guess most steaks are around a pound to a pound and a half for a ribeye. So you're looking at $20 to $30 for a boneless ribeye.
I kind of feel like you gotta have to go out in the woods and like start your own cattle thing. That's where I kind of feel like we're at this point.
I mean, what do you think? More than 10 acres to do that.
That's where I kind of feel we're at though. Like if this is true, if this is inflating, then you might as well just go out and get like some acres and like start doing some cow stuff,
Yeah, but I would guess these prices are inflated because the feed prices are higher, the land prices are higher, all the inputs that make.
So you're saying this is just
this is downstream. This isn't like the rich cow guys, big cow.
Well, yeah, I know that. I'm not saying that. Well, I'm saying like maybe it's cheaper just to go do your own thing, but you're saying no, Car, you can't do your own thing. It's going to be twice as much.
It's going to be as nearly as expensive, if not more. But it'll be more rewarding.
Oh gosh.
You'll know the cow.
21.9. Okay, I can live without dry age. So let's skip this one. What's the other one that he has? They're all dry age.
This is 2024. This is
2024.
This is 3 years later.
This is already expensive in my book.
This is 21. So Whole Foods already has much higher prices than HEB, but they're like organic, locally raised,
I'm not paying like $21.99 a pound.
Yeah, they do like cold plunges and hot sauna.
I'd rather just go and like buy a dozen eggs, just like That's what I'm eating. I'm eating some eggs and beef stew meat, and I'm grinding it out.
Yeah, but these guys, I mean, I believe Parker's carnivore, or probably most of the time.
He eats eggs though, doesn't he?
It's like a carnivore that allows for a lot of Macallan 65 or whatever.
I feel like I've seen him eat chicharrones before, so maybe I would do that too. Maybe I'd just go eat some chicharrones, you know?
It's not enough though. Like you're only living off of meat.
Or some tuna, maybe. Tuna, like what's high in protein? Is it just because the eggs are like high in protein, right? You got obviously meat, and then what else is high in protein? You know this stuff.
Yeah, meat, protein. If you're not getting animal products, you are looking at mostly beans, nuts.
Yeah.
You get fish.
Yeah, fish
is probably.
Yeah, I feel like for me personally, like I would just eat all the other stuff around it, and then like steak, maybe splurge once every couple weeks. That's kind of how I would do it.
Yeah,
I mean, what are you doing?
carnivore.
I mean, what are you doing for your meat intake or your iron?
Chicken is definitely cheaper than beef. It always is, because you can kind of mass produce. But chicken's like the lifespan is shorter, and you can kind of mass produce a chicken, so it's quite a bit cheaper. You can also buy in bulk. Remember, we used to do that.
Oh, yeah, we used to do that.
Yeah, you can buy a lot of beef in bulk. I believe that's what probably Parker does most of the time, and most carnivores do.
Well, I was talking to Ovi. He's interested in doing like this whole like box thing with me. He was like, dude, you want to come in on this box thing? And I was like, can I have all the beef stew meat? Because that's what I like eating, just like on a daily basis.
I mean, usually a box like that is mostly beef stew meat.
I know.
And ground beef.
Dude, I love the beef just because I can make tacos with it, and I can do all sorts of Mexican stuff with it that I can't do with like something proper like this.
Ribeye, yeah.
Plus, to be honest, I'm kind of spoiled. I like eating like steaks like
Simple
this.
food, yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying like I'm spoiled. I like eating steaks like this at restaurants than prepare it myself. If that makes any sense. Like I'd rather go to Three Forks every other week than, which I don't do that, by the way. But if I was on this kind of thing, I would just go to Three Forks every other week because I don't, you know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at. I don't want to like make it at home.
No, I think most people make it at home either because they think they can make a better steak than some of the steakhouses can make, or that it's significantly cheaper. Because it's probably like, I would guess, like a third of the price to make a comparable steak at home if you're really good at making steak that a steakhouse would make.
That's a big steak though. You'd probably feed like 3 people with this.
Yeah. Anyway, Parker's through this series, Parker eventually gets to, I think, a steak price per pound of dry age per pound.
It's this one, right?
That one's 2025.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, we're at nearly $40 a pound, so nearly a doubling of dry age beef, boneless dry age beef ribeye, price over 5 years.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, but that's just inflation, though.
Yep.
He knows about this.
Yes, he does. I think that's why he's going over it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like, yeah. I mean, it's like one of those two things, right? You gotta like, do you just buy it? Do you try to do your own thing? Do you go to a restaurant and maybe do it like every once in a while? Do you substitute it with something else, or do you just try to make more money to afford it? There's really not a lot of options here. I mean, what do you think? I mean, what are you doing for your steak intake?
I don't really have much of a steak. I'll go to Chipotle, as I discussed earlier.
So you're
That's why I
plepping
keep my passport valid. But yeah, I would say I don't really have much of a plan. But when we used to eat a lot of steak, we would go to somewhere Safeway, which is the equivalent in California, and I talk to the butcher and get them to give me a whole, basically the entire part of a cow that is a ribeye, and they give me a whole big block of it, and then we cut it at home, and we make sure we only bought it on sales. But at that point in time, it was like, in many cases, we pay $4.99 a pound, and that was bone in, but $4.99 a pound, and it wasn't dry aged, and it wasn't like local or whatever, but it was like from the United States. But
Yeah,
that's like the best. If you want to eat a lot of steaks, that's probably the best you can do, is find a beef supplier who at bulk gives you a nice discount.
yeah. Good stuff to see. I mean, it's sad stuff to see, but
Yeah, that inflation was great. I was super surprised that it had doubled, because I thought maybe 50%.
yeah, from 21. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. And then the other post he had was which one was this one? Rusty Russell. This one. What was this one about?
Yeah, I just thought this was so Rusty Russell, who, I mean, I wrote the first Lightning implementation for Blockstream, and it's been working on what was originally C Lightning and then got renamed to Core Lightning. Is leaving Blockstream at the end of the month in the hands of, I'm sure, capable people there who are also working on that project. But he's going to start a nonprofit called Century Metadata, which is still in the Bitcoin space, but is meant to store transaction metadata for long periods of time. So often when you'll create UTXOs where the spending conditions requires this extra metadata, and having to deal with how to store that and where to store that is a problem. And that's what Century Metadata is about, is storing that data for people. And so that's what a startup is aimed at. And I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. And
yeah, I feel like the nonprofits are the new VC this cycle. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we have like all these big devs leaving to start their own nonprofit, or not leaving, I should say. I mean, continuing, but doing it through their own nonprofit or being a part of a nonprofit. I feel like you're seeing just more and more developers, like big time developers, doing this. I know we saw Merch do this last year. Rusty's doing this. We saw Buck. I don't know if you saw the Buck post earlier.
That's right.
He's doing the nonprofit.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're going to see more of this. Personally, I don't know anything, but I would just imagine that you'll see more and more high profile developers starting their own nonprofits. Because it's just, why do you think that is, Keyan?
Well, I think it's they want to be. They don't want to have to spend their own Bitcoin. They still want to work hard, or give back to Bitcoin, do service for Bitcoin. And they know that there are other Bitcoiners who might want some tax advantage but still give back to Bitcoin, but maybe aren't doing the work. And so that's the perfect vehicle for a nonprofit. And so that's why I guess they exist and tend to be successful in Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think we'll see more and more of this. Jimmy Song, he's also another prolific developer. Started his nonprofit this year with Parker and them. So that's why I'm saying I think you'll see just more and more of this. I would imagine like we'll start seeing more and more of this stuff from very prolific developers like Rusty is in the Bitcoin space. It's interesting. I mean, all you can do is just kind of watch. I mean, what do you think? Where do you think this goes? Do you think this is just more of like of the times kind of thing, and then eventually it'll just go back to, or you think this is how it's always going to be now?
I don't know. I wonder. It does seem like a bit of a very strong trend. I mean, I was surprised at how many nonprofits we had 6 months to a year ago, and now it seems like
Doubled.
It might just be like a kind of a copycat type of situation where, oh, that seems like a great idea to have a nonprofit. I'll do it too. I don't think that's what Rusty Russell is doing, but that might be part of what is giving way to the trend. I would love instead for people to try to create companies. I think
me and you both, buddy.
I think it is more important for Bitcoin.
It's more
success.
satisfying.
It's not just I mean, for the founder, it's terrible. But
I think it's more. Dude,
if you want to get back to Bitcoin, kill yourself trying to make money in Bitcoin is probably the way to do it. Because I think it's what I think we need. Someone needs to figure out how to make fire inside of like the Bitcoin economy, and we're not going to do it if we're like fire's impossible, and we just need to create like a fire starter that has like a battery power or whatever, which is what a kind of a nonprofit is.
But I also think people just aren't capable of doing a business, though. They just don't know how, or they don't have the knowledge how, or they just don't believe in themselves. So I think that's what you're seeing a lot of too. Nonprofit is very, very safe. I can't tell you how many times in the early days of Pub Lab people were coming up to me trying to get me to start a nonprofit.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like Rusty Russell, Jimmy Song, way smarter than me, could definitely do I mean, I'm not successful, but maybe them being smarter could allow them to make a successful Bitcoin business. But there's something keeping them away from wanting to do that. And I don't think it's because it's hard or they lack the aptitude. I think it's because they just don't want to do it, or it just seems unattractive. But I hope that changes at some point, and people.
I mean, people shit on Adam Back a lot. Like, you see a lot of people shitting on Adam Back, but I gotta hand it to him. Like, it would have been very easy for him to do a nonprofit back in the day when he was starting up Blockstream, but instead he pursued doing his own company. So definitely think that's really interesting. Like, you have somebody like him who's just as prolific, not choosing to do a nonprofit in the early days, choosing to do a for-profit company. And therefore, people like Rusty, people like a lot of people we know that's come through Blockstream actually have produced value. And now just makes me wonder, do we get the same type of value from a Rusty Russell-led nonprofit like we did from an Adam Back for-profit Blockstream? I'm just curious to see how that plays out. That's all.
I would guess not, is my general sense. I mean, I'm just, intuitively, I would say that one of the weak points of a nonprofit, well, it has all these advantages. One of the weak points is they have no reason to be attuned to the market. They have no incentive to. Like, one of the things that, if you're trying to create a company, is you have to constantly be trying to pay attention to what people want so that you can give it to them, so that they give you money. But in the case where you are running a nonprofit, you're mostly concerned about, people who are outside of the market, who aren't really, mostly just the donors, who aren't really concerned about what you're doing so much as like what their tax advantages are and how it makes them look. So it's just like the incentives are very different. And so I don't think it's as good as like, yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, I think it's just of the times. I think this is the new thing that, the new trend that we're seeing. I would imagine by the end of the year, we'll probably see another 4 more nonprofits started by very prolific developers. I don't know anything. I would just imagine we're going to see that. So stay tuned, Stackers. We'll be covering it all. But yeah, it's just, I think it's just of the times. That it's kind of like you saw the hubs get built out like a year ago or 2 years ago, and now you see a lot of hubs closing down now. Some don't even want to do it anymore, so they don't show up. Like, you're just seeing a lot of hubs. No one cares about hubs anymore. That's not a thing. But the ones who like are still around are still doing it, right? It's like you gotta. I think it's just of the times to do this kind of thing, especially if the money's there. I mean, you can't fault him. I'm sure he has a family and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's getting rich off of running these nonprofits. It's mostly a matter of like not spending your Bitcoin hoard and still getting to be of service to Bitcoin. I think that they found a nice win-win situation, and that's why these are proliferating right now.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see Scoresby could do like a whole, like, kind of like a rundown of how many nonprofits have come online and how that's all shaking out. Be curious to see.
I think someone did a report like that a while ago. I forget who it was, but they did. Where does Bitcoin developer funding go, and who does it come from? That was maybe 2 years ago, but people do those reports.
Cool. Stay tuned. And if you have some extra Bitcoin laying around, give it to Rusty. Or what are the other ones? Let's jump into here. I think that's all yours. The quick one I just want to share was Startup Day, Guadalajara. Yay. See, that was my Spanish right there.
Dude.
Look, boom. Anyway, I would have played here because I don't get this block, but anyway,
nice.
Yeah, we're gonna do Guadalajara and Startup Day. That's gonna happen here in August. So speaking of for-profit companies, we'll have some for-profit companies there. It's very hard these days to find them, but they're out there. And Pleb Lab does its best job possible to find them. So if you're doing a for-profit company in Bitcoin only, reach out to me, car@pleblab.com. Let me know you want to be a part of Startup Day in Guadalajara. It's due. We're already selling tickets. I'm like really shocked. I'm really shocked that we've never sold tickets this early for a Mexico event. But I think there's just a lot of people that have gotten used to us coming there every year, and they know it's a good time every time. And maybe you'll find your future wife there too. So I'm expected to have a good time.
Free tickets for the ladies.
We have a 21% off. If you're local, it's GDL 21, and then we're using Zaprite. Shout out John. Shout out those guys at Zaprite for letting us use their ticketing system. But yeah, dude, I'm really excited. I'm excited to bring it over there. We're gonna have a lot of our old friends show up there. So definitely, this is the website here. Go here and sign up. We have some early sponsors. We would love to get a Stacker.News sponsorship, yeah, but we know Coob. I don't know.
Boy, sorry.
But anyway, we'll have we have some sponsors, and then we have 97 days and counting. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. We announced Gustavo. So Gustavo's an old friend of Plub Lab, doing a lot of really amazing things in Mexico City, just like just like Francisco and some of the other people that we know. So he's gonna do the keynote this year, and I think it's well deserved. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Anyways, just want to share that real quick. The other thing is, yeah, let's jump into the AI stuff. So this was kind of, did you see this? So I shared this, or no, I didn't share this, but I saw this morning. And one of the things that really grabbed me was the title. 0x Bitcoin always finds these amazing titles. Meet the Sad Wives of AI. So I read through it because I was bored. And basically it describes women in San Francisco who are upset that all their husbands do is have AI psychosis. And so for anybody that doesn't know what AI psychosis is, it's when you sleep, drink, talk, speak, engulf, live in AI. And she goes through the, oh man, this is not the one. Let me go to this one here. She goes through the article talking about how, really, a motorcycle?
This car robot. We'll find out live on Stacker.News this week.
I don't know. This thing always throws me off. See, this is where I just think, I think it's dumb, dude.
I don't know. It's thinking you're a robot so far.
I can't even know where these bicycles, man.
Oh, no.
Who's this guy?
I think you should fail this test.
But like, see, I just,
oh, no.
There's a bus there. There's a bus there.
Carter's trying to figure out which pictures have a bus.
I don't know which ones have buses. I guess this one does. Oh, there he goes. Okay, cool.
Oh, he passed.
Anyway, so there's this big kind of thing happening, and she literally just talks about Silicon Valley, this writer, and says that all the husbands there, all the ones who are married, gay, straight, mixed, whatever, all have AI psychosis. So here, let me go here.
Gay, straight, or mixed?
Yeah, she says that too. She says that too. I don't know, Keyan. I don't follow that stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to offend anybody. I'm just what she said. Anyway, so she talks about how they all talk to each other and they're all asking, like, is this destroying our families? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. She didn't say mixed. She said gay or straight, rich or poor, any AA Appeal members. And so she talks to other women, and they conclude yes. They conclude there's going to be some adverse effects to losing their husbands to AI, but they're not complaining about all the money they're making, all that kind of stuff. But all of them happen to be founders. they're all addicted to AI. She talks about the mansplaining that's going on. It's a very loaded post, but I mean, it makes for a good podcast conversation. Keyan, I go to you. Do you think these women should just get over themselves and be fine with dealing with AI?
I don't really know. It's a weird situation, probably being a woman in Silicon Valley, because there are so many men there, like by proportion. It's like not 50. It's like the distribution is weird. In Austin, we have a favorable distribution for men. In terms of the dating market in Silicon Valley, it's the opposite. It's favorable for women. So I don't know why they wouldn't just, jump ship.
Get on board. Oh, I thought you were saying get on board.
I mean, just jump ship. I don't know if they're upset. I haven't read this post, so I don't really know what it's about.
No, she's just complaining the whole time that their husbands are addicted to AI.
Yeah, it sounds like it sucks. I don't know. Imagine you're like a woman you're dating who is talking about how great the person on their computer is.
You know what? Right when you said that, I can see. So I actually think, like, you know what? In a way, this is kind of very similar to how women. So the way women feel about men addicted to AI and all that kind of stuff and technology, it's the same way men probably feel about women addicted to like Instagram and their socials and stuff like that, social media. It's probably the same thing.
I've never felt that way about. I guess I'm not in touch with being upset at women for social before, but I assume that could be
The same thing almost.
Yeah, there's probably a related behavior in women.
Yeah.
Present.
I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, it is. Gosh. Yeah. I bet you that is the same thing almost. Anyways, even the kid's addicted to AI. Look, he's asking Claude for things. Yeah, I thought that was a funny post. I thought Keyan was gonna have something more, but turns out he really doesn't really care about women and AI and what they think.
I definitely don't care about women, and definitely don't. But I care a lot about AI.
Look, he's look at this AI.
Women.
Look at this AI is like doing something to her husband. No wonder she's worried.
Yeah. Unless you have balls, I don't care.
Look at this. He's grabbing her robot boob right there. Look at that. That's kind of weird. I wonder if she's freaking out.
Oh yeah, they're making love. It's like a threesome with robots.
A weird thing.
She's just kind of
just watching it or letting it happen.
She's taking a selfie while they're
doing recording it.
Well, there's also like he's like a pedo robot, a robot pedo. There's like a small little child robot at the bottom.
He has his own dev server here. Look, that looks like another monitor. Then that looks like an iMac or something. Anyways, you hate to see it. Oh, and then there's a kid over here in the background. Oh, that's so sad.
Oh, a human one? Oh,
yeah,
that's bad.
Anyway, I think the top comment from here was Lulato. He said the AI baby versus real baby comparison is so real. It's hard to compete with something that doesn't need to sleep or eat. Because she also goes in there saying that like it feels like a child because he's like babysitting. He's like waking up in the middle of the night, checking on his run, all that kind of stuff. So
go for it.
All right. The other AI post is the last one. The newest AI boom pitch: host a mini data center at home. So apparently data centers are coming to a neighborhood near you. You're going to be able to install installation on the side, just like you would have like a Tesla. You're going to have a distributed data center technology. It's going to be running NVIDIA. You're going to live in this awesome, cool world. Keyan, are you going to build this your place?
No, I'm not. I just don't. I don't think the problems are solved such that will actually be a profitable thing to do. I think once those problems are solved, it might be. I mean, the only system that we know of that has been able to do this, where someone can plug something in their home and it makes them money, is Bitcoin mining.
You're damn right, Keyan. You're damn right.
So yeah, I think once someone solves that problem, for sure. If it's like I plug in a Bitcoin miner at home and put in a Bitcoin address and I make money, if my electricity is cheap enough, I would love to do that.
I would love to do both. Give me this and give me Bitcoin mining when it's not suitable. Anyways, yeah. So they're going to Span's approach could avoid the significant land use, water consumption issues that come with huge data center projects. But according to a CNBC interview, they claim it would install 8,000 extra units at a cost of 5 times lower than building a typical 100 megawatt data center with the same compute capacity.
Oh, I see.
So it's in 2027. They plan to scale up to 80,000 extra nodes across the United States and provide more than 1 gigawatt of distributed compute. Distributed compute is becoming a thing.
They are providing you set up like a trusted compute center for OpenAI or Claude or whoever.
Yeah.
In your home. I could see that. Yeah, I could. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how well that scales. Probably not super well.
Do things that don't scale, right?
Yeah. So maybe that does make sense, because I think a lot of what these data centers are lacking isn't so much that there isn't enough power generation as much as there is
right.
all the infrastructure, like delivering the power somewhere. And so if you can do it at homes, which already have the power delivery mechanisms, then I guess that would make sense.
Everybody's using these NVIDIA RTX Pro 6000s, it looks like.
That's what they're using at the AI Club, right?
That's amazing. They're not cheap. They're not cheap. They're not cheap, Coob. Would you ever run one of these or no?
No, I don't really have a I just don't. If for anything private, I still use my brain, so I don't really have a need for reaching out to, or like having my own hardware. If I have a lot of like private problems I want AI to solve for me, I'll get one. But
yeah,
for now, no.
That's all the AI stories this week. That's Wumble's picks. That's my picks. That's Keyan's picks. We got a zine. Boom. Looks like we got a zine. What is this?
We got a zine. This is the zine that Pleb Poet released before we started this podcast. I haven't looked at it too much, but it looks like it has a lot of cool retro digital art in it, like that. That's like, I think, an older game.
Really, it's an old game. Huh?
It's like a buried statue with a bunch of, like a giant buried statue. But I haven't really. The Stacker.News email cover the top post, and then some selections from Pleb Poet in addition to their art.
This looks cool.
Yeah, the orange is a nice orange.
Oh, I like this design.
Yeah, it's got that like late 90s.
Yeah, I always like the 90s design here. Who was this post? The Paradox of Maturity for Bitcoin?
Yeah, that was another one from NPub One Zapsats. That was the one who was trying to pay, I think, not peer to, but paying the YouTube front end. They were trying to give them Bitcoin. They wrote another post about adoption.
Love to see it. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. Definitely check it out. Stackers, get yourself a version in print or be featured in the classifieds. Looks like there's not a payment option. Need some help watching Boo try to buy one, apparently. What's going on?
Oh, that's my note. That's our Zaprite connection. I might have.
All right. Try again in 30 minutes when we're done, Boog.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I think that is everything. We got one more meta. What was this, Keyan? Research in public.
Oh yeah. I think we covered on a few other podcasts that Simple Stacker had developed a model around Stacker.News' economy and the effects on content and discourse on social media. And you know, they'd written a research paper on it and had begun to shop it around to journals. They had anyway. It's been rejected. It was rejected originally from the Bitcoin Research Institute in Wyoming. That was where he originally wanted to discuss it. They didn't want it there. Then he submitted it to an economics journal, also rejected. And more recently, I think like an information science oriented journal also didn't like it. And I think what we're finding is that it's like it's maybe the topic is extremely niche, and no matter, even if we go to another niche and we're like, this is in your niche, this niche that we're discussing is like relevant to your niche, they're like, that's too niche for us, even though they occupy a niche themselves. And then, you know, maybe like the presentation style that's required or the type of science they want done differs. I don't know. It's just kind of a bummer to see Simple Stacker put so much effort into this paper and get it, you know, not get it the attention it deserves. At this point,
I would just keep trying. Like, I think rejection's good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you haven't been rejected, then you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah, but in these venues, in these academic journals, there are only so many of them. There aren't as plentiful as there are people.
I would just go bother them personally. I would just go to where they're at and just like talk to them. Sometimes you get people to do things and they just like you.
I think that's what he's hoping when he submitted it to the research conference in Wyoming, was hoping to actually talk shop with these people. But anyways, like, whatever. It's just a weird use case.
What did Billy the Kid say here? Oh, where's
Billy the Kid?
Yeah,
he relays like some of their experience working in academia and how it doesn't relate exactly to the quality of work, and in many cases has more to do with like how many lashings you've taken and things like that.
Interesting. Never heard that before. Cool. Well, keep trying, Simple Stacker. And I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything. Let's jump into Keyan's favorite segment of the show. The tops. Oh, also, we need to share this one. So Sonoto,
Synonym.
I'm sorry, I don't know why I said Sonoto. Synonym has a DevOps engineer. Man with a Purpose is hiring. It's a remote, cushy job. Sounds like they care about free speech, free Bitcoin, and I'm making all this stuff up. Keyan, you say this stuff. I've had 3 beers.
Oh yeah,
2 beers.
so Synonym, the company behind PubKey, who's headed by John Carvalho,
The legend, the man, the myth.
who has a lot of good morning tweets on X, and I'm sure on PubKey as well. They're looking for a DevOps engineer at their organization, and that's what this is. You have to be not a citizen of the United States, which is most of the world, fortunately.
Oh, you have to be not a citizen. Yes.
Not a citizen. You have to be a citizen of somewhere
wow.
else that isn't the United States.
Interesting.
And yeah, they're hiring. So
I wonder where that is.
reach out to Man of Purpose or whoever wrote this if you are a DevOps person.
Well, we have a lot of Germany folks that watch the show when I look at the stats and analytics. So if you're out there in Germany, why? Or in Europe, or in Canada, or in Mexico. Yeah, fly. It says, why would you join us? Impactful work. There you go. Growth and ownership. Ooh. Cutting edge environment. Love that. Remote culture. Yeah, that's good. That's a good time, right? Generous time off. And 2 team meetups per year with travel expenses covered. I mean, and then you also get to just shoot the shit with John all the time. I mean, that'd be fun.
Oh yeah. It's probably worth the price of admission.
I mean, seems like a really cool guy to work for. Cool. That's that one. Let's jump into the top Cowboys, baby. Giddy on up, tube. Giddy on. Oh, you already have your hat on. Look at you.
Yeah, no, I'm ready, dude. I'm a real cowboy. Thought I was a fake one.
Look at this. So we got Stacker and Hiding. We all know who that is. Goob. Another Stacker Hiding. We know who that is. Blockchain Boot, Gray Ruby. Oh, Gray Ruby's number 5.
He's climbing up, dude. He collected his hat today.
Collected.
He can wear it with
905
pride.
days. How did he post today if he's out there, if he's out running around?
You know, just in between things, family events. It's really important that he keeps his cowboy out. It's a real cowboy. You don't stop being a cowboy.
But I just was walking with him for like an hour today. He had traveled, all this stuff. Like, how's this possible?
I think it's what it's required. That's why many people aren't seasoned cowboys like Gray Ruby. They just don't have
Boog, though. Look at Boog.
They don't have the spurs for it. You know?
Freaking Boog. Look at Boog, though. Number 4. What's going on with you, Boog?
Yeah, Boog.
Boog.
Keeping to it.
Blockchain. What is that? I never noticed. What is this here? It's running Hal Finney thing. Oh, this whole time. I thought he was just into Mario Kart. No?
I don't even think is that a Mario Kart thing? The green?
I feel like it's the 1-up, right? You get the 1-up.
I think you might be right.
I feel like it's the 1-up. You might just be into Mario. Let me know your thoughts if you saw the new Mario movie. Okay, anyway, so we go back here. We're Scoresby. I just saw him right now. He was here earlier. Number 7.
Came at Gray Ruby.
Oh, yeah. Public Enemy. Simple Stacker. Got End of the Mic.
Yeah, I feel like this has changed up a bit. The top 10 here.
117. Crypto Sensei. Suarez. Real Bitcoin Doggy. It's like one of my favorite stackers. Real Bitcoin Doggy. You read it? You still haven't read it? Machiavelli. 23. 0x Bitcoiner. Peter Todd. Oh, Peter Todd's climbing up. 26.
Dang.
Wow. OG in the house. There you go. We got a lot of people. Solomon Satoshi. Still spamming people. I got you muted, Solomon Satoshi, by the way, just so you know. He just comes underneath me all the time, just like, bro, shoo.
I think it's because you talk about him.
I'm just telling him so he knows. Like, once you start like correcting yourself, and then I'll unmute you. But haven't seen a reason to do that. Solomon Satoshi, keep it coming. What are you gonna let? What are you gonna let people? What are you gonna let stackers like myself charge more to reply?
I don't think we'll do that. Yeah, I don't know. And at least not anytime soon. It sounds like an idea one has on a podcast that someone asks someone else and they don't really think about it too much.
Anyways, got him there. Need Creations. Wumble still stacking all these years. Oh wow, we saw Crypto Coin. He's come back. That's a new one. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah,
He's an OG stacker.
yeah, they were really prolific
Stacking
at
since
one point.
21. Wow, I haven't seen Crypto Coin in a
Yeah,
while.
over 10,000 items.
Wow. Yeah, who else do we got here? A lot of people. Socks. We got Sooks. Socks. Apparently, did you see he posted in the saloon this week that they asked him if we were manipulating his brain on YouTube? Did you see that?
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, is this manipulative content or is this like emotionally manipulative content? I think was the question that YouTube asked him.
Bunch of wokes. That's what I
was weird.
thought.
I don't even know. That podcast was probably pretty chill. The one that he was sharing.
Yeah, it was. I think it's just like wokes, like in YouTube, just like trying to censor you. I think that's what I believe, but I could be wrong. Just for that, we're gonna get shadow banned now. Clip this out. Clip this out, Wumble. And that's pretty much everybody. Keyan, what you doing this weekend?
I'm not doing anything. Probably just gonna keep doing the things that I've been doing. I wonder if I have anything fun to do. No, I don't really. That's a bit. I hope to have more fun things to report at some point. We're hoping to go.
With the wallet, you mean?
Yeah, just in general, just like that's like work, but we're thinking about going. I haven't been to the mothership yet, and I think it's probably died down in terms of like the initial excitement. So I'm curious about that. Hoping to go.
I wanted to go this week, but you didn't want to go.
Well, I wanted to go. It was sold out.
Oh.
I waited to buy tickets too late. Anyway, that's it. How about you? What are you doing this weekend?
I got to go to a baby shower tomorrow for
Who's
family
having a baby?
stuff. That's a long story. So I got to go to that. So I'll probably not be here tomorrow because I got to do family stuff. And then Sunday I'll usually just chill, read some scripture, go to church or something.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, it should be a good time. Got some work I could get done and do all that kind of stuff. But today went by quick, man. Friday went by so fast. I didn't even get to do things I wanted to do.
You're living like two lives, You're kind of somewhere else, and
sometimes three lives,
Sometimes,
yeah.
Well, I don't know about the third one, but I see two.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Need to clone myself. Anyways, I did see that they're having what was it? Is it The Mandalorian? Is that coming out this weekend?
Oh,
I think that's coming out this weekend.
Second season or
third, fifth season, I think.
Wow, that many. Okay.
Yeah. And then the other scary movie, did you see that one? It's called like Obsession. See the trailer for that?
Is that the Chinese one?
No. So speaking of baby mamas, let me see if I can find the video. Oh, where's the movie? It should be a movie. Oh yeah, here it goes right here. Have you not seen this yet? I'll show you here.
I guess not. What is it?
So it's like this guy who gets like a voodoo doll, and he asks the voodoo doll to like make her obsessed with him.
Oh, that's a mistake.
Look, watch this right here. Watch right here. Look, boom. Yeah, one wish thing.
Oh, it's like a firecracker.
Is that a firecracker?
Boom. It looks like something you light.
And then look, she's like becomes obsessed with him. I don't know who Curry Barker is.
Have you ever had a woman like that?
Yeah. My first girlfriend was like that. But look. Look, she's like stalking him. She's obsessed with him. Isn't that scary?
Mostly just awkward, but unless she's like violent. But
yeah, they get violent. Oh, she just like over laughing.
I don't like
Isn't that
movies
creepy,
like this
though?
usually. Yeah, it seems pretty creepy.
Oh, it gets worse. Look, she like starts cutting herself and stuff.
That was a mistake. Can he get another one of those and like wish it back? Like I hope she forgets about me forever.
Yeah. Whoever plays that girl looks like did a good job. She looks super crazy. It's always the brunettes, dude. I'll tell you. Look at this. It's wild. Yeah, he tries to cancel the wish. Anyways, yeah, this movie's coming out. Anyway, I just thought I'd show this.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
Triggering, but fun.
What do you mean triggering?
Triggering.
Have you never had
like,
a girl like that?
No, it is true. It's like a little bit, I don't know, it's a weird feeling to like someone, be attracted to them, but then they're like really strange towards you.
No, just like mean, to get to a point where they're like super into you, but then they just like become mean. It's weird.
My experience wasn't mean. It was just like you can't reciprocate.
It's obsession.
Yeah,
it's obsession. But it's usually like comes from a place of like not having or something. I don't know. I'm not.
I don't know why.
Not a researcher or whatever.
This case, anyways, it's a wish.
Anyways, Stackers, have yourself a great weekend. Keyan. Wait, did you say Zap?
I said Zap.
Oh, you did say Zap.
Okay. Zap it.